all that money from your raise is paying for your health care. Soon, it could be true. But thanks to the health care law, many companies are turning to what they call salary-based premium system. That means that the more you make, well, the more you'll be paying in premium. So that raise is more or less rendered useless. Dee Banky says it's just one of the many surprises from the law. She's joined by Carlos Curbelo and Kristen Dorsey. Dee.
Yeah, I don't think there are raises ever. I mean, I think a lot of people won't even have jobs after Obamacare because a lot of these businesses are being crushed by the burden of Obamacare. So guess what? They're getting rid of jobs full-time and are making them part-time jobs, so there is no health care, or they're getting rid of their businesses altogether because they can't handle the cost. So there you go, a total failure.
You know, Carlos, the bottom line is that we do know businesses make adjustments. Their input costs go up, their prices go up, their bills go up. Somehow they find a way to either make the employees pay for it, generally, or the general public pay for it. And certainly this health care law won't be any different.
Absolutely. It's happened at the firm I work at. A lot of the young people that work there, they have to go out now and find their own health care policies, and the premiums are absolutely through the roof. So that's the great irony. A lot of these young voters that ended up supporting President Obama are now paying a very high price for government-mandated health care. On the other hand, I'm a school board member, and at our school system, we gave teachers a raise last year because they deserved it. Our school system is doing great, has improved drastically in recent years. Guess where all of that money went for many of our teachers? To paying for higher health care premiums. So it's exactly right. The raises, they're gone. They're all going to this new government-run health care.
Carlos, I guess you missed the memo about shared sacrifice. You know, Christian, initially when we talked about a new health care law, it was sold as something with economic benefits. After it was passed, we keep hearing over and over again, it's not about economics, it's about fairness and about people getting coverage. So don't complain about the cost or the price tag.
Well, it's still about economics, and from where I sit, I've looked at healthcare costs which have actually slowed in terms of their growth. We see that specifically with Medicare, which is improved dramatically. Its solvency was extended out 10 years.
Is Medicare dumping a whole bunch of people on Medicaid, though? I mean, is that sort of gimmicky to sort of talk about that kind of stuff?
Well, not really. We're talking about the overall healthcare spending, going down in terms of its growth, Charles. And back to the other issue, people haven't been getting raises for the last 10 years. Most of that has been going into healthcare spending as it is. So Obamacare hasn't brought any new dynamics to that. It's still the same old. Employers would rather spend money on healthcare than they would on growing wages.
Well, sometimes, Carlos, to your point, they don't have a choice, do they? I mean, this is a new fact of life. The consequences could be very severe, particularly for employers, and they have to figure out a way to find this money, right?
Absolutely, and one of the big problems is that Obamacare did not address the real issues we have with health care. I'm sitting right here in the healthcare fraud capital of the United States. Sad but true, my hometown. And one of the reasons our premiums keep rising is because there is so much fraud in healthcare, and Obamacare does little, if anything, to address these issues. And there are a lot of companies out there with good solutions that they're offering, authenticating healthcare transactions, authenticating visits to doctors, but none of that is happening. So there's more fraud, and who's paying? Teachers, young people. That's the raw deal that we're all getting with Obamacare.
Well, and speaking of fraud, Charles, I got to bring this up because part of the agency that's going to help implement this, IRS. Oh, these are the line dancers, and these are the folks that put the Star Trek training video together, and these are the folks that are going to be implementing this and policing Obamacare. Great, that's fantastic.
And Dee, I mean, to your point, it feels like almost every day there's something new. In other words, there's a new cost that we just discovered. There's something new. I know Nancy Pelosi said we had to wait, but I didn't understand that she was talking about we were going to open a Pandora's box. Every day it's a gift that keeps giving.
And you know what? A lot of Democrats now, they're not happy about it either. Nobody is. Do you hear anyone praising Obamacare now? I think people are getting it now that, all these pages that stack this high that was pushed through, and now people are realizing this is not so good. This isn't good for Republicans, Democrats, or Independents. It's bad for Americans.
Right.
But wait a minute.
Let's bring Kristen back in.
Well, in every place where a healthcare exchange has been set up already, we've seen healthcare premiums being offered that are lower than they actually were prior to the implementation of the exchanges. So in real ways, this is actually producing lower costs.
But Christian, because we're running out of time, I do want to ask, I mean, I know you're a proponent of this. I know you love the president and you guys are on the same ideological page, but aren't you somewhat worried and concerned about how it's gotten out of the starting gate?
Oh, absolutely. And to believe that the Affordable Care Act is going to solve everything with health care spending, absolutely not. But to deny that it's absolutely a positive step forward versus the status quo, that doesn't make any sense.
All right, we're going to leave it there because
It's
Kristen,
not. It's making it worse.
It ain't
making it
affordable.
worse. It's
All right.
making it worse, and it's hurting
Kristen,
teachers and young people.
you have to understand that Carlos and Didi are part of the Flat Earth Society, so you can't convince them anyway. All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. The government